Hey everybody, this is Chiro with Minmo Yo. And here's the deal. So, first off, take a look. Yeah. If you know, you know. All right, so here's the deal. Is specifically what happened to me in Vegas this last trip at Treasure Island when I was at a table. So, now that you know that, I'm going to present the question or the scenario. And I want you to tell me what you would have done. At the end of this video, I will explain exactly what I did. I will still interact with you, and like what you had said and everything. But I'll let you know at the end of this video. All right, so here's the deal. You get to the table. You are, the table's not that busy, but there are a few people on there. You are playing, you were really only there for about 10 minutes, let's just say. At least that's how it was. So you're getting the feel of what's going on. Couple of rolls have happened. Now, the dealers, they are really friendly. They're really nice. You've seen them a couple of times because you've been at the hotel for a little bit, and they're nice. There is a slight language barrier. Two of the dealers are actually, one of the dealers is not American, but he can speak English. Just, a little bit of a language barrier. Not horrible, but a little bit. And the not the stick man, but the pit boss, he definitely is of a different language barrier. So there is that slight problem, but it's not necessarily an issue. At least it wasn't. Okay, so let me get that clear. Very nice. You just had to listen a little bit more clearly and make sure that you were presenting your information to them clearly to make sure that your bets were done properly or your payouts were done properly. Now, as this is going on, a new player comes in, literally right next to you. And I mean right next to you. This player is extremely aggressive towards the dealers, to the point where he is saying stuff like, well, I guess you don't want to make money tonight, to the point where the dealers were getting so fed up with this player that as he was trying to put a bet down, they are basically telling him, no, that's it's not a bet. They were getting pissed off at this player. You are right next to this guy who's being extremely aggressive and very much bringing the mojo of the table and the fun of the table completely down. What do you do? Guys, okay, so I'm going to tell you. This is exactly what happened to me. It was probably, was it the same? It might have been the same night. Yeah, I think it was. It was the same night after I lost to Sideshow. They ended up going to Harris, and my wife and I kind of hung out. We played a little bit. I licked my wounds, right? You already heard that story. But I walked up to the table, like I said, not that many people, and this guy walks up. Now, I am going to emphasize, this guy was a mountain of a man. Very, very large guy. I mean, if I had to take a guess, he was about 6 inches taller than me. I mean, really large man. Really aggressive. And I'm going to even say this. To me, it seemed like he was drunk or at least had some alcohol in him. But I will say this. Although he was standing right next to me, I did not smell any alcohol on him, and he did not have a drink on him or with him. It doesn't mean that he wasn't, but, I just did not see the signs of somebody being a drunk at the table, but he definitely acted that aggressive. And if you know what I'm talking about, there are people that are fun drunks, and then there are people who get drunk and that are just straight up mean. That's what it seemed like. He really, really, really aggressive to the dealers. This is what I did, guys. After the third or fourth roll of witnessing this, looking at the dealers almost in shame, I actually... the roll before I did this, he ended up trying to put a late bet out, and the dealers, like I said, they were like, no bet. Basically because he was being an ass. And they said, no bet. And that's when he was like, fine, I guess you guys don't want to make money. And I actually told the guy who was right next to me, I said, I guess they don't want to make any money from you. Now, I don't know if he took that as, yeah, he's on my side, but I did not mean it that way. I probably should have said something a little bit different. But the very next roll that happened, I looked at the dealers and I said, take me down. Now, I had a lot of money out there because the rolls were happening. In the middle of the roll, I said, take me down, everything. Luckily, I was not on the pass line, so I didn't have to wait for my pass bet. But I told him, take me down. The dealer looked at me right in the eye, and he gave me that I understand look. Ironically, the gentleman who was super nice but happened to have a little bit of a language barrier, we communicated quite nicely. I was sickened because, and I'll tell you why I was a little bit more sickened than just seeing somebody who's being a drunk or an asshole at the table. This guy knew how to play. This guy was a really good player. You can tell. He knew all the bets. He knew the hops. He knew everything about craps. That is not okay with me. That is somebody that's not necessarily in our community, because I don't know if he has a channel or whatever. I don't know. I didn't know the guy. But is somebody who is representing craps players and letting that be shown on a craps table with other people. That is absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable to the dealers and unacceptable to the other players that were sitting there at the table. I was ashamed. I really was. I took my money and I walked right, and literally there was 2 tables, and then the stadium's craps. There was 2 tables that I literally just picked my chips up and walked right over to the next table. The guy actually looked at me, and from that point, I didn't give a shit. I didn't care about him anymore, and I stopped looking at him, and I didn't care. Started playing on the new table. Did fairly well. Actually, that was a decent night that I ended up having. It was the one and only time, let alone being in Vegas, but the one and only time that I've ever been tipped by players because I was having a really good roll. That was really cool. I've never been tipped by players. They were all excited because everybody was making money, and a few players ended up tipping me. Very cool. Never happened, but that happened right after I moved to the other table. So, yes, I guarantee you I made the right decision, and I'm almost positive everybody's going to say they would move. But I would really like to hear from anybody who has any other opinions on what they might have done. The pit boss was involved. So me telling the pit boss, hey, I don't like this or whatever, I don't know. Maybe you guys would tell me something different. I personally just was like, let me get the hell off this table. This guy is an asshole and I don't want to be anywhere near him. And that's exactly what I did. Ended up being great. You know, could have been bad. I mean, I could have gone to a really cold table or whatever, but it didn't work out that way, regardless of the fact that's what I ended up doing. The guy was just a pure asshole. Unfortunately, because he was definitely a craps player, and I hated that. I would have really, really wished that this guy had no idea what the hell was going on and preferred him just trying it out, but just is an asshole. But no, he was an actual craps player. That's what makes me think maybe he had some alcohol in him. I don't know, guys. It was really weird. It was unfortunate for the dealers. I felt bad for them. And, you know, what are you going to do? You just got to pick up and move on. But let me know what you thought or you would think. And let me know if this has actually happened to you as well, too. You know, this is kind of, I've not seen that kind of aggressiveness for no reason. And I literally mean no reason. He walked up being extremely aggressive. So let me know what you would do in this situation. I told you what I did because this is exactly what happened to me in Vegas. But let me know what you would have done and if this has happened to you before. All right? That's what I got for you guys. And I will see you next time.